Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tanko Bonwabaka. You are once again welcome to this podcast, Truth Untold. Now, place where truth they told. Whether it go pay you or it no go pay you, no concern us. Our own is let us tell you the truth. Because why? The truth must be told. Today, our guest today will come visit us to discuss one or two matters. He's a politician. He's a politician in the making. A politician we don't make, still in the making, and if still in tomorrow night, I go become governor of one state, and then that time I go tell and say, Shebi, remember when you come my podcast? So he's here to discuss one or two political matters with us. Let us see how politics has favored Africa, Nigeria, and So, my brother, you're welcome. Tell the people your name, make them know, make it no be like saying me talking.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Obinna. I'm a political activist based in eastern part of Nigeria, very precisely.
You dey hear them?
Yeah.
A political activist. It be like all these politicians, they get the same kind of language. If they talk to you like this, you go to say, as in talk and say you be. You understand? It's okay, Mr. Obinna.
Yeah.
As a political activist,
Yeah.
I
And also
want
analysis too.
okay,
Political analyst.
analyst.
Yes.
Analyst.
Analyst.
Oh, you understand? It's okay. Mr. Obinna, normally if person come my podcast, I be Igbo man. I uphold Igbo tradition. I dey always offer cola. You understand? So now I get to pepper be this. I know say you go. Yeah, watching.
According to our culture.
Yes. It's okay. Thank you very much. So, as a political analyst, I want to know with the situation in Africa, because why I always call Africa is, I say, when one is free, the rest is free.
Yes.
So, politically, or politics in Africa, in Nigeria, where me and you came from, how do you describe or balance the today politics and then with the politics of yesterday? Because in the political system now, me and you know that a lot of things are going wrong. Or you may not know because you are a politician or a political analyst. But the fact is that Africans are crying, Nigerians are crying, resulting from bad governance, resulting from the system that we are in. So we want to know, as an analyst, why do you think that politicians today are not doing what will favor the masses, instead what will favor them economically and otherwise?
Yeah, thank you, my brother. First of all, in politics, we in Africa, I think we say we are still learning. Most of our politicians go into office, and when they get there, they forget the reason why they are there. They start pursuing different things. Take, for example, somebody like the late Mandela. He knows his purpose to be in office. He ruled for just 4 years, knowing that his strength cannot be able to carry him again. So he gave up power to his predecessor or his successor. If it is the politician of today, mostly our Nigeria, he would like to work and die in office. So I would say the politics of yesterdays is far better than what we have today. What we have today in Africa are hungry politicians, corruption, corrupt politicians everywhere. But I believe that one day, Africa will get it right. I know there are some parts of the Africa, I won't mention any country now, or mention any names. But with hope, let us focus on Nigeria for now. One day, Nigeria will get it right, which we are all praying for. We don't need to give up. Because it took America over 100 years to become what they are today. I think we are still about 60-something years in Nigeria.
63 years.
Yes. So there's hope for Nigeria. And when you see what is happening currently now, I won't say all the politicians are corrupt. We still have the good ones among us. Take, for example, the Enugu State Governor, what he's doing now, the Abia State Governor, Mr. Alex Oti, and some other few governors. I think as they are going on, people will start emulating from them. The legacy you leave behind matters a lot. What are you leaving behind after office So I think our political system is growing gradually, and we are getting there very soon. The problem we have in Africa is leadership. I want to rule, I want to rule, I want to rule. What do you have to give to the people? Those who have the capacity to rule this nation does not have the opportunity to be there. I still don't want to mention, but let me just mention. Take, for example, 4 years ago, we get it right by voting somebody like His Excellency Peter Obi in the power. I think if you compare what we are witnessing now to what we are witnessing if he was the one in the power, you know that they are more different. There are people that have the people at heart while going to office. You have the masses at heart. You are going there to serve and not to enrich yourself. You know, you don't need to write. We talk in our proverb that we don't need to set exam for yourself. If you set exam for yourself, you will pass. It's not like that in politics. Our current politicians go to bed and think something and come out tomorrow and try to put it in action without due consultation. The system we are now today is not a system we just have a room discussion with your wife. Tomorrow you now come out and announce something without knowing the effect. For example, the removal of subsidy. Yes, it's something that we need to do, but not at that right time. Doing wrong thing at the right time and doing right thing at the wrong time is a different situation. He did at the wrong time because he just left. Yeah, I think we need to remove this. They just decided without knowing the effect. So we want to have politicians that carry the people along while making decisions. And if you know that the policy you want to embark on will affect 70% of your masses, don't go. A good politician have to do something that will affect even the least of his populace, not something that will affect a whole of the nation. That's how we find ourselves here today. So my brothers, you said there is more difference between the Westerner politicians. I know they brought us democracy, but I think the democracy in Africa, in Nigeria, is failing.
Okay.
Look at what is happening in Burkina Faso today, plus other countries that have been taken over by the military. I think the democracy we are practicing is different from the one they taught us. I think our politicians, they need to go for 1 year courses abroad. Then when they come back, they can be fit to carry on with our democracy. Until then, we are still learning.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Obinna. I have 2 points that I want to speak on before I move on. First of all, you said the system of government, the politicians we have today, they are not good. That if rulership were given to Peter Obi, difference would have been made.
Yes.
Okay, so do you think that Peter Obi is a better person? So what makes you think that Peter Obi is a better person?
Yes, according to him, say go and verify it. Yes, we happen to be, at least we are still adult and active while he was ruling. We have verified his time in office and see that if he's given opportunity with the kind of resources Nigeria have, he will transform this nation.
Yes, so as former governor of Anambra State,
yes,
what did he do in Anambra that made you satisfied or certifying him okay to become the president, and when he becomes, he will do better than every other person? So what did you see in Anambra that made you feel so?
I saw so many things, but let me point out one thing.
Okay.
While he was a governor, there was a budget to build a new government house. But he thought about that building schools is more important than spending billions to build just a lodge for a governor.
Okay, so...
I'm coming.
Okay.
He left that and built schools. For example, today now we have somebody in the presidency who awarded a contract of about 70 billion just to renovate a building, when there are teachers that have not been paid in Abuja for 3 months. So Peter Obi is why he spent his money, he's spending the state money, state resources to where it is highly needed. So it's economic wise.
Okay. So you said because one of the things that made you quantify him a good person, a better politician, is because he refused to build a government lodge.
Not just I said there are many, but
let's just I said one of.
Yes.
That's I said one of.
Yeah.
So because he said no, let us not build another government house.
Yes.
And then he built schools. Please, is there any school in Anambra built and they said this school was built by Peter Obi? Do you know of any? Because what I know is that the only thing I know is that Peter Obi renovated schools, which he said he went into school renovation.
Yes.
So, which school in Anambra and which place in Anambra did Peter Obi build a fresh school?
For example, now there's an existing building here. And you bring down the structure and put a befitting building.
No. He said renovation. He didn't say,
know.
So what you're talking about is building. And now you're talking about there's a building here. Renovation is not building.
Yes, let me tell you something. For example, currently now you hear the Minister of FCT spending 32 billion in renovating a certain conference hall.
Okay.
Why that same build when it was built some years back, I don't think they spent up to 2 billion. You know that there's some renovation that will cost more than the cost of the building. What do we call that?
So are you not saying also that Peter Obi used the means of renovation to eat Anambra money?
No.
Because we're giving an example with this one.
No.
No, giving an example with this one that because when this one was built, the building didn't cost much, but the renovation is costing excess money.
I was trying to tell you.
If Peter Obi also went to school that was built with small money and they use a bigger money.
I never say use bigger money. I was trying to differentiate between you. I try to argue about building and renovating. Okay. I will now give you an example that there's some kind of renovation that is even as good as building. That's not a renovation that we are allowed to bring down the whole structure down. So let us say he build or he renovates. Either he renovates road or you build new road, you construct new road. The important thing is that a road was constructed. So build was constructed. Let me tell you, go to another time of P2P. I know here steps to talk about P2P, but I want to bring out one example. We know Anambra to be number one in education for about 4 years while he was in office. And now that has changed now.
Okay.
It is because of the investment he made in education. So when building on education, it doesn't mean only the building. So I know of a state that build good houses for school, but there's no single teacher there.
So what has education done for Anambra State?
Education is very important.
No. You say, the way you emphasize on how he invested in education, and I ask you, what has education done for Anambra State?
You cannot pinpoint a particular thing the education have done in Anambra State, but there's a lot of things it can do in future. So
that is to tell you that education is not a benchmark for economic growth. Education is not a benchmark for economic growth. Education is just enlightening somebody. So what we are talking about now is economic growth. Proving to me that Peter Obi is a better person. I thought you would have started with the area of economic growth, and then doing apart from using education, renovating schools to give you examples.
Yes, I told you there are many things to do. Let us start from
in Anambra State today, there are basic amenities with which an economy or a country or a state grows. And in Anambra today, those basic amenities, I don't think Anambra has pipe-borne water, do they?
They have.
They don't have pipe-borne water. I don't think Anambra have constant electricity. I don't think Anambra have the best electricity, the best hospital in the world. I don't think Anambra has the best stadium, international or local airport during its time. All these things are facilities that makes up an economic of a place. The only source of economy, or one of the sources of economy Anambra had, was the Onitsha main market. You understand? That Onitsha main market did not catapult from what it used to be to something new, like, for instance, trade fair in Lagos. When you go to trade fair in Lagos, the way trade fair in Lagos was built, you see that trade fair in Lagos was built in a standard where when you come into it, you say this is international market.
Yes, I know where you are going to.
Okay? So when you say that he is the best, I was actually expecting more than saying he built school.
No, remember I told you that he did a lot of things. Let us start from this
like what
point.
And what? Okay, now you have said school.
You remember the international breweries, which is apart from I think it's the number 1 or 2 highest revenue in the state now. That was his own idea. He built it today. It's still functioning.
With whose money?
It's state money. So we are talking about what he has done. I told you he's done a lot of things, but one of the things that made him popular during his time is putting Anambra State education first.
Education is not.
He construct rules.
Which road?
He built hospitals. He handed over schools
Which
to the
hospital?
missionary.
Which hospital?
He renovated hospitals.
No.
Government
You
hospitals.
You see, that is what I'm talking. You're talking about.
So let us. This topic is not mainly about B2B.
Yeah. That's why I said I want to. I'm trying to get clarification.
I'm not here to campaign for him, but I'm
Yes.
just trying to tell you the difference that would have made when you see
Yes.
somebody who have the people at heart.
Now, that's what I'm saying. So, P2B wouldn't have been described as the best. Fact is that politicians, you politicians, including you,
Yeah.
I don't think that there is anyone different from another. All of you, as far as you still practice the Western political pattern, all of you are on the same page. But, when one is found among, I see P2B like, P2B is seen among two bad eggs. Like the time of, during the election time, Atiku, Tinubu, and P2B. So I see P2B as a good, one person
But you're asking me why.
found in the
You
midst
ask
of.
me why is he the best? Now you are not telling me that you see him among the bad eggs. Now, one of the reasons why I say he's the best as of the time of 2023 election, why I say he's the best candidate is the governor that spend and also have a leftover for the future of the state. Every other governors I know as of then has a lot of debts, credits, both to the contractors and to the banks on their neck. But BW is the only governor that will give you the name and the account of the bank for you to go and verify. That left so much for each state because he believed that there is tomorrow. You understand? There is tomorrow. Politics or what do you call it, is a continuous something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is that one of the good things he did was he left money.
Not just that. I mean, we are just bringing it one by one. No, the reason
I
I
said
just trying to
one-off.
tell you why he is the best.
Yes.
He have a good record.
Yes. So what is the good record?
He's a humble man.
Who told you?
He's a very simple man,
How did you know?
and he's economical wise.
How did you know?
I've come across him for so many occasions. I remember when there is need for the state to have a building in Abuja, which they call the Governor's Lodge. He was the only governor that does not have a lodge in Abuja. Because he told his people that, why should I have a lodge? Am I living in Abuja? Because and he said the cost of maintaining that lodge in a month is running to 5 to 10 million. Where he had never spent a day in. He closed it off.
Okay.
So, meaning that if you have given opportunity to be the president of this nation, there are many things he would have amended that would have saved us a lot of money.
Okay, so
There are a lot of extra vacancies.
okay.
How can you be renovating the vice presidential lodge with 5 billion, a place somebody just left?
It's okay. What I want to ask is this: you said P2B left money in the treasury of Anambra.
Yes.
Okay, that is one of the things.
Yes, the evidence is there.
Yes, that's one of the things that made him a good person.
Yes.
What is the money made for?
Money meant to be spent.
So why didn't he spend it to actualize?
You don't need to spend
so wait,
all.
No, wait, relax. Money is meant to be spent. When a state generates money, the reason you generate money is to make sure that infrastructures are put in place. So why did he not put all those infrastructures, like I said before, best hospital, airports, best road network? Because as far as Eastern Nigeria is concerned, Anambra is not the state that has the best network, road network. Why didn't he build road network, pipe-borne water, constant electricity, and then make sure that poverty elevation is eradicated?
Let me tell you, government is a continuous process. Can't do everything at the same time.
Okay, you can do.
You have to leave it for
now
your
I like what you
successor,
said.
yeah.
So now you are now seeing it that now it's not the best, because now you are gradually now saying that. So let me also go further. P2B children, where did they go to school?
I can tell you categorically that his daughter, the first daughter, schooled in Nigeria, and is currently, while he was a governor, she was a teacher.
In first daughter.
Yes.
How many old was she when she be teacher?
I can't categorically say, but that's at least in her 20s.
It's okay. At 20, so when
Why-
did she graduate from school when she don't become teacher?
I'm telling you that
Baba, don't defend Peter Obi. You know, no go campaign for him. It's like you're
we are not a
like
campaign. That's why I say let us.
So,
we can, let
as
us,
far as you don't know where his children are schooling and where they are currently and where they are doing their masters or whatever degree that they are doing, leave them.
Okay.
Politicians now, politician.
okay,
You know, because I keep telling people that on our way be politicians, you people have turned this country upside down.
it's a lie. I can't accept that.
You said
Not all politicians are bad. I give example.
you said something. You said that you pray that our politicians go to America to go and learn politicking.
Yes, there's going to.
There's no point of them going to America to learn politicking. Now, America, they can teach them politics. America have orchestrated their head that when you pass the knowledge to your second where they come. Say, see what our master tell us. But the truth of the matter is that what is the essence of going to America to go and learn more politicking?
Because
when the Western world are still the ones controlling the politicking in Africa. You gave an example of Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
And then you see that Burkina Faso is doing well. Ibrahim Traore is doing well.
Yes.
But obstacles hitting him from left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Who are the obstacles hitting him left, right, and center? The same America, you said Africans should go and learn politics.
No, the reason why I bring in America is that we are practicing democracy. And democracy is never our thing.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
if you are saying that our African politicians should go to America to go and learn politicking, first of all, before you say so, take an example from Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traore, who is doing well, according to the definition of what we want.
yes.
He is having obstacles left, right, and center. Who are those giving him the obstacle? The same people you're telling politicians to go and learn politicking from. Don't you see that you're not getting it right?
See the reason why I say that? Politics in Africa is something we learn from our colonial masters.
Yes.
You know, in education, we have BSc, masters, and PhD. I think some of our politicians have not got to the stage of MSc before they drop out. Because, for example, if you get to London and see how things move, you will not ask yourself, is this same democracy that we are practicing? Or is it different one? Go to Netherlands, you will see the prime minister coming to work with bicycle. You will go to places like Norway and other, I don't want to mention more country names. You will see that there are more difference between what we see here and what they do over there. We are reckless in spending. We are not economic wise. We don't know. They don't know. Some of our leaders doesn't know the definition of being a leader. Leadership is not by going there to enrich your pocket and your friends. When you come to lead in Africa, when you come to rule, you have to be a servant. You be a servant to the people you rule, not being a
master.
a detective or something like that.
Okay.
So when I say they should learn is that sometimes when I travel outside this country and see what is going on, I will not imagine myself, are we in this same planet?
So
What is happening? Listen, I'm coming.
Okay.
For example, it took Burj Khalifa, the biggest, the tallest tower in Dubai, where our politicians visit. It cost them $5 billion to build that edifice. That is generating millions of naira to the government. But Nigeria politicians can steal $5 billion without a trace. They can spend it on unnecessary projects that cannot yield any economic values. That's why I say they need to learn. Before investing much, for example, the current the biggest contract of all in Africa today is the Lagos, Calabar, Coastal, then that costs about billions of dollars. Do you know what that money could have done in other sectors? That money would have changed the face of our nation if invested in, let's say, health sector. Nigeria would have been the #1 hub in Africa where people come for medical tourism. But decide to do it, to use to spend it on road, which people have been applying for long. Nobody's complaining. I didn't say it's not a, and I didn't say it's a bad idea, but when you have 10 issues at hand, I have resources to solve only 5. You will choose among that 10 the most 5 important ones. Understand? So in the Western world, they are economy-wise. First, they know that infrastructure is important, but not spending billions on infrastructure that will not yield a positive result to your nation. So I know that this nation, we are growing daily by daily. One day we get to know all these things and apply them. And when our politicians will start knowing that leadership is not by reaching your pockets, they see that everything will change. This is why we bring in issue about P2B before. Not that we are here to campaign for him or talk about him, but I want to use him as an example. At least we have to be economically wise. Not that this thing about to do, how many lives will it affect? How many jobs will it create? One of the problems we have in Nigeria is unemployment, inflation. If we can build more companies, more industries, I think our young youth won't be fighting for visa every day, praying for visa to leave this country. So why spend about trillions, I won't say about 10 trillion to build a coastal lane when you can build more industry with that money? How much did it cost Dangote to build a refinery that is employing about over 1,000 people today? But we have 3 refineries that is not working. Are you telling me if our refineries are working, we'll still be buying fuel at the rate of 1,000 naira now? No. That's why I say we need to be wise to know what we need to do. That's why I say they need to go and learn more, because I don't think they have learned anything.
Good. It is on this area of learning that I am trying to beat. I asked you a question. I said, presently in Burkina Faso, you say what is happening there.
Yes.
And then that guy is having obstacles left, right, and center. Who is giving him this obstacle?
There is not a fact on that. There is no evidence that is from the Western. Your brother can be your enemy. Understand?
Okay.
Until we have the facts and evidence that the Western world, I know that he took away bread from France.
No, we have to.
The young man is trying, and by God's grace, he will excel. He will succeed in his quest to change his nation.
Now, because there is no evidence that it is the France or the Americans or the Europeans that are responsible for all the katakata in Burkina Faso, therefore we should take it like that.
No.
But one thing you should know is this: whether you accept that it is them or it is not them, there has been a previous case. If you remember, in 1987, Thomas Sankara was eliminated.
Yes.
By his best friend.
Yes.
Now, it was the same France who came into the picture to make sure that Thomas Sankara is eliminated. Why? Because he traded on the same path that Ibrahim took after in the total liberation of Africa and total liberation of Burkina Faso.
Yes.
So there is no gainsaying that it is not that same people. Like you rightly said, you cannot take away food from a child's mouth and expect him not to cry.
Yes.
So it is rightfully said that it is the same people who eliminated Thomas Sankara that are now after the elimination of this same young man. So when you say that our African politicians need to go and learn politics from these same people, I wonder why you did not reason the area that it is these same people who have destroyed the unity and peace of Africa through democracy and politicking. Because there is nothing good that can come from them if not further destruction or further manipulation or telling you how to live your life and not how to and how not to live your life. So is it not an error for you as a politician to say that our people need to go and learn democracy or system of governing from these people when we have about 55 countries that made Africa? Why can't we come together, these 55 countries, head of states? Why can't you now, as a political analyst, why can't you, in your personality and persons like you and other politicians, come together and say, let us carve an inch on how to take our continent forward? Just like I take you down memory lane, in 1960 stroke 1961 in Casablanca, Morocco, when 12 heads of states assembled in Casablanca, Morocco, to discuss. And then that was the period the OAU was formed. And on that day, a man, President of Ghana, Dr. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah,
Yes.
he made a very great emphasis saying that let us, from here that we are, determine the future and the movement of Africa. Let us not leave this organization without one currency, one army, one Central Africa, one central bank, one passport.
Yeah.
So that when these people will come to attack us again, we would have been united. Because disunited we stand, problem will continue to happen. But united we stand, Africa will be great. So, why don't you see it from that angle, that instead of us going to learn democracy from those who gave us democracy in destruction, it is better for us to sit and go in line with 1960 Kwame Nkrumah guideline.
Yes, you asked so many questions from your analysis now. So I will take you one by one. One, the issue of what is happening in Burkina Faso, you may not be far from the truth, but we don't have facts yet. Secondly, you thought about learning, going over there to learn. I didn't say they should go and learn everything. What I'm trying to say is that these people, these are our governors, our presidents, our ministers, they travel out of this country to enjoy the facility over there. They enjoy the infrastructure. They see countries like Sweden, as small as they are, countries like Norway, countries like Denmark, designing their nation to a way that when they come in, they will be comfortable. But today, you see in Abuja, let's talk about Abuja, you see places where you cannot even be comfortable to sleep in. So I was now asking, is these people not going out there to see what other nations are doing? This democracy they are practicing is different from the one we are practicing. You will see our politicians having the election as a do-or-die affair. You see somebody clinching position. It's only in Western world. I'm not saying they are the best. Yes, they are part of our problems. They are our colonial master. They brought this democracy to us. And I cannot say let us now abandon democracy and go to military, because even our nation, we are so corrupt that we can not be able to handle under military rule in this nation. So let us embrace the democracy. But we need our leaders to be able to bring in more knowledge from this, our master who brought this democracy for us, so that they can be able to carry the nation along. We are lacking behind. After 63 years, Nigeria cannot be able to produce an ordinary toothpick. What are we? Then we are not supposed to be called a nation.
So you see, I still fall back to this point of mine. When you admit that our problem, our system of political problem, or those who gave us this system are also our problem.
Yes.
You again referring us to go and learn from them. What do you think we will learn from them?
Since we have embraced this democracy.
So why don't you see it from the angle, like I said, in 1960?
Yes.
Even up to 1963.
We have that. Okay, finish what you're saying.
In 1960, when Kwame Nkrumah in Casablanca, up to 1963, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia,
yes,
he still made the same point.
For Africa unity.
Yes. Even in 1957, the day Ghana gained her independence, he said he is happy that Ghana is free. But the independence of Ghana means nothing until there is total liberation of all African countries.
Yes.
So he had an urgent vision that no any other person saw. So what I'm saying now is it not imperative for you to say that these 55 countries embrace that idea of Kwame Nkrumah in 1963, 24th May in Addis Ababa, and that of 1960 in Casablanca? Is it not better we embrace that idea of Kwame Nkrumah by coming together and then carving out an inch, which was one of the purposes for forming OAU, Organization of African Unity. So why don't we come together and say to us, this democracy given to us by the Western man, and then still manipulates and teaches us on how to control our system. Let us push it aside and then govern ourselves.
In what way?
Govern ourselves in what way? First of all, I don't need to be under the umbrella of Western democracy to know how to treat my brother.
Okay.
Education is not a yardstick for good governance. What we are talking about here is wisdom. What we are talking about is how to prevail. What we are talking about here is, like you talked about, he said, after 63 years, Nigeria cannot produce anything. Now, why can't we produce a thing? We cannot produce a thing because the system of politics that we are practicing today does not give us the leverage, because there are people who still control the system. The system of education that we have today does not give us the leverage to be productive, because there are people who still give us the syllabus and curriculum to follow. So until we drop those curriculums, until we drop those syllabus given to us by the Western, and then carve an inch for ourselves, get in touch with our brains. Like today now, I still see that we import chicken from Brazil. So when I see Africa,
but that's not the making of the Western world. It's our failure, the failure of our leadership to make a law. Remember, there was a time China was like this. But the leader of the China make a proclamation that there will be zero importation of any goods. They have to produce what they eat, what they use. And China went on with that action. Today, China is a great nation exporting products to other countries.
Good.
So it does not take the Western world for you to control your economy.
Good.
Just that we don't have that leader yet who will come and say no more foreign interference in our policy making.
So what we are begging for now, and what we are crying as Africans, as Nigerians, is that leader that will come and make a change. That leader will come and say enough is enough. Like, for instance, you politicians, I keep saying it, I say, the dividend you are enjoying today, the dividends politicians are enjoying today was not built by them. If the people who built the dividend that the politicians today are enjoying, we are as selfish as today politicians, today we wouldn't be where we are today as independent people. But those people who fought for the emancipation and the decolonization of African states did it not because of their selfish interest, but for the interest of the whole masses. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa. You go to Togo, you talk about Sylvanus Olympios, Thomas Sankara. You talk about Kwame Nkrumah. You talk about Patrice M. Lumumba. Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Ahmed Bembela, Samora Moses Michel, Emperor Haile Selassie. Now, all these people, their purpose for fighting for the independence of their states is not because they want to eat and become selfish. David Kaunda, until these people made sure that our purpose is that we have seen that these people have manipulated and controlled us. Let us begin to build our own states. Now, you said something that you cannot remove food from a child's mouth and not expect him to cry. These people, when they saw that these people have pulled out from their grip, what did they do? They started coming back again to make sure that they corrupt the mind of the people against their own people. That is when they began to produce dictators. Like Mobutu Sese Seko Kukubendu was a banger. Samuel Edo. You talk about Idi Amin of Uganda.
Those are
you talk about Shell Bedel Bokassa of Central African Republic. You talk about Haile Mariam Mensuch Giselle of Ethiopia. All these people, we are manipulated and used by these same people who saw that food has been taken away from their mouth. Till today, in Africa, elections are concluded outside Africa.
Yes.
The
For-
foreign
foreign
observers
interference.
must come into the matter. So what we are saying is that you politicians endeavor to fall back to the same race that those people who got independence for us ran. Those race they ran. Follow that race so that we will come into a better continent. So, if we keep and continue relying on the Western democratic system of government, don't you think that we will continue to misunderstand or misconstrue our system?
Yes, I told you before that governance is a gradual process. We are getting there.
For
We-
over 60 years.
I will tell you that, let me use this word, sorry to use it, that the West discovered this. That's why they can tell you that
The word is
the West discovered Africa.
Okay.
And they see Africa as their child, who they cannot abandon. But in the course of taking care of the Africa, they found out that we have potentials, which they require so much, which they needed so much, so they refused to leave Africa. If you see the interference of French nation to the Francophone country in Africa is different from that of the British interference in Nigeria, Ghana, and some other countries they colonized. Nigeria can emancipate themselves. It's very easy. It's for us to do the right thing. Yes, your master is your master. You can recognize your master till tomorrow, but that doesn't mean you are still serving him. But from the day you remove from your mentality that you are no longer a servant, you are not a leader. So maybe in our mentality, we still see ourselves as a child to the British. That's why we have most interference from them. But one day, somebody will stood. Remember the Idi Amin of Uganda you said, it talks about, is the first African leader that turned a white man to his slave, if you listen to the history. He was ready to emancipate his nation, but they does not have the resources to stand alone. We are talking about resources here. Recently Nigeria joined BRICS nation. Why are we going there? We need their support, their connection. If you have your product, you don't have those buying it. It's useless. For example, you have crude oil and nobody comes to buy it from you in a month. It becomes a problem. So one of the reasons why we go to them is because of our business or commercial activity with them. Not really that we are sorry, but because we have leaders that think that we cannot survive without them. So one day we have people like that, Uganda, who think that the country can survive without Western interference. Today, Brian Traoré is doing it in Burkina Faso, telling them that they can survive without them. China have done it before. India have done it. So what's stopping Africa from doing it? But Africa have to unite to achieve this.
Good.
So we have in the past leaders that would have done that, but we know how they ended up. People like Muammar Gaddafi. He proclaimed he wanted to continue the fight where Nkrumah stopped. By the end of it, you know what happened. Yes, you are not far from the truth that we have a lot of interference from the Western world. And we cannot pull out easily like that. But I know gradually we have leaders both in AU, even in West Africa, today we have the top Sahara nations coming together. Just like we have the Mali, Burkina Faso, and a few of these countries that broke out, forming an ally. So one day we have a strong ally that will tell you that enough is enough.
Good.
And
So-
I'm hoping on that day will come soon.
Good. So, coming to Nigeria, very soon now we will enter 2027 election.
Yeah.
What are you, from what you're saying now, that one day it go better? So, till now, it never better. Now, they trouble my mind. You understand? Because I see all the politicians as criminals. I see all the politicians as selfish people who are after their pockets, their family and lifestyle.
Not all.
All of them from A to Z.
Not all. I
No
agree with
difference has been made.
Yes.
And then because of the fact that I know all these things where they happen now because of religious belief. Because if all of them when they enter office, they remove Bible, remove Quran, carry like staff of Ahmadiyya, give you, say, swear, say as you enter inside this place, whatever thing you are going to say here, now what thing you go do. If you no do, let Ahmadiyya come after you. All of them go stand up. They go to do work well. Now, you said that, we should believe it go good.
Yes.
But I believe that the only way it can be better is bringing in traditional matters into this talk. But very soon now, we'll go do 2027 election.
Yeah.
So what are you saying or telling Nigerians to expect? Who it is that we go win 2027 election?
2027 will be a tough year in Nigeria. I know it will not be easy defeating the incumbent presidents because by the calculation we have today, still have 4 years. The Southerners still have 4 years. And anybody telling you now that he will leave the office for another Southerner to come and do 4 years, I will not believe that. Because anybody that goes there wants to complete his 4 years, his 8 years. Somebody have come out to promise that if I get there, I will spend just 4 years. I don't think Northerner will listen to that. So for that, I'm sure that by 2027 it won't be an easy fight. But I'm predicting that the incumbent president will retain the office.
Okay, so now from what you're saying, having analyzed one or two that gave you the fact that the incumbent will retain his position, are you not seeing this coalition as a threat to the incumbent? Like, you see what is happening regarding to the coalition? You know, jumping from this party to this party. I tell you, all these politicians are the same thing anyway. But let's conclude it with the coalition. So are you not seeing this coalition as a threat to the incumbent?
Every other person may see the coalition as a threat, but me as a political analyst, I don't think it's a threat to the incumbent because everyone among the leaders of that party have personal ambition. Starting from Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, he is the chief organizer of that program. I think he is the one that brings the idea of this ADC. And he has an aim for that. And his aim is to be the president. Mm-hmm. I think this will be his last shot. Now, P2B is there. His aim is to be the president. Rotimi Amechi is there. His aim is to be the president. Likewise, every other person. Now, haven't seen what happened in the past. If at the end of it now, Atiku cannot get that ticket, that ADC arrangement is gone. If P2B did not get the ticket, every obedient and every other person following him will leave. Likewise, every other person. And now, somebody was telling me some time ago, except Atiku can be, I said, there's no way Atiku can be a vice president for a second time. And if P2B cannot accept being the vice president to Atiku in 2023, what makes you think he will accept that in 2027? That coalition can have only little effect in some states and the local level, not in the federal level.
So, from what you just said now, so these people are just deceiving us for nothing?
Yes. As I'm talking to some of them, we return back to PDP.
Yes. So these people are just deceiving us for nothing?
That's why. If that's where you think about it.
No, but because
you mean the politician or do you mean the ADC?
The ADC, those people who form the ADC.
They are there for their personal.
So they are deceiving
ambition,
us.
Yes.
So now you have accepted that P2B is also deceiving us.
I can't say that.
Why won't you say that? Because you have
I'm telling that
here and now.
They all have personal
that's what I'm telling
ambition,
you.
which all of us know.
So now you have admitted that these people under this ADC are deceiving us because they have their own different goals and purposes.
Yes.
So everybody there is deceiving us, including P2B. He's deceiving us. First of all, P2B is one of the persons, as far as political system is concerned, who decamped. In fact, he was the first decampee.
Yes.
He decamped from ABGA to PDP, from PDP to Labour, now from Labour to ADC. So if politicians are not the same, why is he moving from one party to another party to another party? You see, that's why I said to you that when you say he is the best, no doubt, no problem. I don't campaign for politicians.
Yeah.
I'm not my own is Africa should unite, come together as one, through sincerity and honesty, through hard work and integrity.
Yes.
Let us champion our economy.
Yes, true.
Let us stand on the benchmark of our founding fathers, judging from Kwame Nkrumah. Now, if this person can move from here to here to here to here. Are you not seeing that politicians are the same? No one is different. Now, this ADC now, they don't from ADC.
Yeah.
You don't from Labour Party again, come out, enter ADC. Atiku don't call you, you come. Why did you have to go and answer Atiku? The same Atiku who called you the other time, where you come out, say you're looking for presidency. You don't go answer them. Now Atiku has called you. You don't answer. Atiku don't call. All of them don't come together. And all of them, where they there, get one purpose. You are not there under unity. You are not there under conformity. You are there under selfish interest.
Ambition, yeah, the ambitions.
So how can this stand? Or how can you say that these people are good? One of them, one among these three, is better than the other?
Yes, there's a simple word that said the politicians are the same. Yes, you can jump from one party to another because of your personal ambition. Yes, there are parties that cannot grant you your ambition. For example, when he was in ABGA, you know that ABGA is not a national party. So he left ABGA to join PDP, which I think he was also a member before, during time of Jonathan. So he now find out that there's a problem there of him achieving his aim. That was why he left and formed. But I was telling people that one of the greatest mistakes these two people made was in 2023 for not coming together. If P2B would have accepted that agreement and arrangement in 2023 to go as a vice president with Atiku, Atiku will not be where we are today. But that is in the past now. But I'm telling you that the ADC, which is trending now, may not see the light of tomorrow, because the three major founders of that party has a personal ambition. And one of the most contending one there is Atiku Abubakar. He can never accept a defeat. If you tell, let us go for free and fair primaries, remember that he's carrying the day. Dollar will reign. In any way you see it, he's going to win the ticket. Because that was his aim, because he thought that he's getting old and this is his last shot. Now, P2B have come out to tell the people of the North that let us just allow him to go for just 4 years. Because you know that we in the South just have 4 years left. And Northerner can never accept you taking 1 year out of the arrangement again. So maybe if the Northerner can come to terms and accept and agree with him, have a good agreement, written notes agreement, it may work. But the problem there is, will have Atiku step down for him. So that I tell you, the ADC is not a threat to the president. I don't think ADC is a threat.
You know, the way you people analyze politics, the way people talk about politics sometimes funnies me. You know how it funnies me? It funnies me when people sit and say it is the turn of the Northerners.
Yeah.
It is the turn of the Southerners.
It's a political arrangement. Yes.
Yes.
An arrangement.
So if it is a political arrangement, so why would they vote? Why not wake up and say, okay, now not now, I go rule, no need to vote.
When you get to the turn, they have to bring somebody.
No.
They have to bring somebody. That's why they need to vote. There must be many people coming now. So we need to choose a particular party and a particular person.
There is no need for voting. Because if when I don't talk and say this presidential election, presidency, now these people ain't get 8 years. These people get 8 years. So when it is time for the North, why would they go cast vote?
We have to cast the vote.
Why now? Because when I already talk and say now these people ain't get them. So why are we casting vote?
It's a rotation now.
No, that's what I'm saying.
The arrangement have been there for long, since 1999.
That's why I said it is funny to me.
Yes.
Because once you don't conclude, say, this presidential matter, na zonal, say, today na Northerners ain't get them. Yes. Tomorrow na Westerners, the other na Easterners, Southeast.
It's between South and North.
Now, why would they contest? Why would they vote for? Why would they vote? When I'm supposed to they say, oh, okay, now North turn, North, wanna take them. No need to go begin tell people, constant for son, begin to vote. Why are we voting? When you already conclude saying that these people get them. You see, that's why I say political arrangement in Africa, in Nigeria, sounds too funny to me.
Yes, we are.
So until we begin to do things or make things right.
That's why we need good leadership that will make that happen. We need good leader. That's why we must pray and work hard and to make sure that they come where we have a leader that we think towards your idea. You have a good idea. Yes, and Africa needs to come together, to work together, to free ourselves You understand? Have a one united African nation. Understand? Just like we have in China. I think China is bigger than Africa.
Huh?
Both in population. China is about 1.3 billion.
You want to use China, go compare
Why
Nigeria.
I know seven Nigeria. I say Africa.
Oh, Africa. Oh, okay.
Africa is less than 1.2 billion. While China is 1.3. But they united. So if China can do it as a country, Africa can do it as a nation. Single currency, same passport, and free trade zone. So I think one day we get there. And when we get it, because I know there have been a fight between the West not to allow us to emancipate ourselves, because they know that if we go by ourselves, if we have this freedom we are seeking for, they will lose a lot. But one day we get there.
Yes.
Yes. Just like China have liberated herself. Nobody's interfering in their policy. India have liberated herself. So there's no Western interference in their country. Despite India being colonized by the British, no more interference. But we find out we are still growing. We still have a lot to learn. So that's why I say we need to learn more.
No. We don't need to learn more. That's why I have a problem.
When you learn from your master, you cannot break out from your master. Let me tell you something. I was telling somebody some time ago that one of the reasons why South Africa is greater than Nigeria in terms of infrastructure and economy today was because the people that taught them live with them. Understand? But we are in the middle of getting to know what we want to know. We now say, our master, we don't need you anymore. You can go. We can take care of ourselves.
Point of correction.
They are not here with us.
Point of correction, when you say South Africa,
Yes.
that South Africa is better than Nigeria because the people that taught them stay with them.
Yeah.
You are making a total mistake because the blacks in South Africa have no say in anywhere. All the economy and infrastructure of South Africa is still being controlled by those who controlled them from the beginning.
And go and see
so
the
the blacks are nowhere to be found. Blacks. So it is today under the umbrella of EFF. As we can see, the further pursuance of the total liberation of the blacks through the EFF from where Nelson Mandela stopped,
Yes.
from when the ANC was the ANC,
Yes.
as structured by, chairman by Sir Albert Lutuli, and then today, this ANC gave birth to Thabo Mbeki, Nelson Mandela, So until Jacob Zuma came and moved South Africa into a corner where they could not understand their direction again. Now, the EFF is trying to redirect South African blacks into that direction that Sir Albert Lutuli in 1912, when the ANC party was formed. So they are trying to redirect themselves into that channel that gave them a little bit liberation. So when you say South Africa is free today because there are people, they have infrastructure.
I never say they are free.
So no, remove the infrastructure because those economies are still being controlled by those people. And this is where the blacks are fighting, saying, enough is enough. We want to take charge. This is our continent. This is our country. You understand?
I don't believe that. Why is that? The xenophobia attack we see are not for the West, not for the whites. Is the South Africa black fighting the fellow black, mostly the Nigeria, the Ghanaians living in South Africa.
Yes.
So meaning they are comfortable with the whites.
They are not comfortable with the white.
Let me tell you something.
Now, they are not comfortable with the white. Why did I say so? Is that what the white man does is to instigate problem between blacks, and we begin to kill ourselves. We have been orchestrated to see the white man as a saint. We've been designed to see the white man as the Messiah. And then this man we see as Messiah, what he does is to inspire fight, instigate fights among we blacks, to begin to hate ourselves, to begin to see ourselves as enemies. And by the time we begin to see ourselves as enemies, we begin to fight among ourselves. He is now relaxed in his comfort zone, looking at us, killing ourselves, destroying ourselves. And then he is saving what he has. At the end of the day, he will now come outside and say, oh, why are you people killing yourselves? That is it. So the blacks in South Africa, the xenophobia was as a result of selfish interest. It was as a result of misleading and misguide.
I want to come in here. We are talking about South Africa. Let's say, for example, now in Nigeria today, we have a white man or a British man engineer handling the Ministry of Works or Ministry of Transport or Ministry of Power. For example, let's talk about Ministry of Power. Do you think we'll be suffering from this stability power supply in Nigeria? Because they know what they need. For example, I was opportune to live in a place called Ajaokuta when the steel company is still functioning. The Russians were there then. There is 24-hour electricity because that's how the system in that country was. Let's say we didn't let our own colonial masters to live when we are still not matured. Let's, for example, now white man is a minister of power. Do you think for the past 10 we have not gotten it right in our electricity sector?
It's an error to say when we are not matured. We have always been mature.
We are not mature to live then, I'm telling you. Because when you are telling me that the nation is not fit to be called a nationhood even after 63 years of independence, that means we didn't learn much.
It's okay. I think we have, our audience have heard enough. They've listened enough.
Yes.
Thank you very much for gluing on this episode of Truth Untold. I know say you go down hear one or two things. Come to comment section and tell us what you observe or what is your own opinion so that you can know how to, come into it. I'll go reply you or go talk and muku. You understand? So see you on the comment section. Thank you very much once again for staying focused, glued to this wonderful episode.